Hi, welcome to the award-winning Ed Brown Show. And once again, we got an outstanding show. In fact, this is going to be a series, and it's going to be concerning finance. And I think all of us needs this. But I'd like to welcome Dr. Williams from the Revolutionary Elders here with us once again.
Yeah,
and he's brought an outstanding young man here, Eddie Bland III. And Eddie Bland has done some outstanding things, and we want to bring you these things to the young people, to the old people, everybody. Everybody has to know something about finance. That's it. Welcome, Doc. Tell us about this. You come up with, you writing books all over the place now. You're coming up for Martin Luther King's birthday. Now, what is this that you have? I had a dream speech.
Well, Ed, as an evolutionary elder, I have to do as much as I can. Mm-hmm. It is very obvious that I don't have as much time as I used to have.
We know. We all know.
And so, yes, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., I'm writing a book, Words Crossing Across, Word Search on Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., much like the book that I wrote on our president.
Right.
Words Crossing Across, Word Search on Barack Obama. And so what you see here today is an excerpt from the book, which should be ready by January the 15th. Mm-hmm. And we are really, really excited about it. It is an unusual book. Mm-hmm. It is a unique book. Mm-hmm. It is a book of one of our elders. Mm-hmm. And I want you to know that a couple of weeks ago, I had the opportunity to visit Atlanta and to visit the Martin Luther King Memorial.
Isn't that wonderful?
Was a joy of my life.
I've been there. I've been down to Tuskegee, the whole bit where, you know, unfortunately, he lost his life.
Yes.
But what you're talking about, this is very timely for everybody because his birthday is coming up. And this is going to be wonderful to have this out so people can understand what a great man he was.
Right. And, you know, I'm always meeting great people, mm-hmm. young, old, everywhere that I go. Mm-hmm. And that's how I met Eddie Bland.
Eddie Bland.
And Eddie's here with me today. I'm so proud of him.
Yeah, just what I heard off camera. I'm proud of him too, because this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to get the evolutionary elders and the young people together financially. And Eddie Bland material here, this corporation that they have, I Can Foundation. Eddie, how do you come along with a name like I Can Foundation? After that, give us your background so the people know that you've done a lot of things already.
How's it going, Mr. Ed? Thank you. Thank you for the accolades. But everything that I do from this point forward is about youth and young adult empowerment. And I Can is just that. As a youth and young adult mentor, you know, I've worked with a lot of individuals, you know, youth and young adult, both male and female. And a lot of things that I've noticed is a lack or an area that requires a little uplifting, and that's the self-confidence and the belief in self of our young adults. And that was the whole underpinning of I Can. And our initiative is the In Me I See Youth and Young Adult Empowerment Program, and I'm trying to get as many youth and young adults to feel and believe and really know that in themselves they see the world. And once we get that movement going, I believe some positive things can happen in our communities. But a little bit about myself, you know, I was born and raised in Baltimore, Maryland. You know, I was brought up in a single parent household, love my mom to death. But you know, I graduated from the Lake Clifton Easton College Preparatory Business Program in Baltimore. I graduated salutatorian of my class, you know, that's second in my class. Mm-hmm. And my story was the reason for the creation of the foundation, because I graduated, you know, second in my class. I scored pretty high on the SAT, but funding wasn't available to facilitate my college education.
All right.
So in an effort to make that happen, I went off and I joined the United States Marine Corps. I've served 5 years in the United States Marine Corps. I was honorably discharged in 1999. And since graduation, or like I say, since completion of the Marine Corps, I've attained degrees from the University of Maryland in the field of computer science and accounting, and I've gone on to complete my master's degree in network security as well.
Fantastic.
And that led to the creation of the organization. I'm now studying to attain my certified financial planner's license so that I can offer financial services free of charge to the community through the organization, sir.
Yeah, that's great. Now, you told us about a lot of things in this series. Basically, what I want you to do is just give us qualification. How you get the young people to qualify for programs like this?
Oh, okay. You're talking about the scholarship initiative
Yes.
of the ICANN Foundation.
Right.
Yes. We have currently 3 categories of scholarships, and we're focusing on 3 primary sectors of the community that require uplifting and encouragement. These 3 categories, per se, are youth and young adults, high school graduates. And the second category is single parents, because I know a lot of single parents. I have a lot of them in my family who aspire to attain their college educations but don't have the resources available. In a lot of single parent households, a lot of your resources are spent supplying the needs of the child, and a lot of resources often aren't available for you to continue your education well into the older years of the child. So we wanted to, change some things. The third category of scholarships we've made available to what's called rehabilitated members of our community, because I've also worked with older males and females who, say for instance, they made some bad decisions in their life, but they have been fully rehabilitated. And since their release from maybe a correctional institution, they haven't received the support needed to become viable members of society again. So I've spoke with several employers and things of that nature, and what I've learned is that individuals that have been released from correctional institutions, if they show that from the time of their release to the time of their potential hire, that they've made real attempts to become productive members of society, and we want to make that available to them by way of attaining their either bachelor's degree or their associate's degree to help them become, like I said, a viable part of society and show employers that they are fully rehabilitated.
Okay, well, what about, a problem that most everybody has, and the young people, the African American really has a tough time, and that's with funding in businesses. Well, how do you get them involved in knowing how to start a business?
Yes, that's a very, very good question, sir. And that's one of our primary initiatives as well. It's been coined as the third major talk. And this third major talk is designed to assist parents with talking about subjects that oftentimes are avoided because their lack of comfort with the subject matter.
Right.
And that is the financial talk.
Right.
What I've noticed is that a lot of parents that I work with, they're comfortable talking about worldly issues to their children because these are areas that they are experienced with, because they can tell their story of life. But due to various financial trials that oftentimes the kid is witness to, the kid watches their parents go through various financial struggles, whether it be debt, whether it be bills, whether it be credit, and the kid is listening. And so oftentimes, being as though the kid had to watch the parent undergo certain struggles, the parent skips that talk with children about how to properly manage their finances. And that spawned this initiative, the third major talk. And it's to assist parents with teaching their kids the fundamentals. And like I say, one of our corn phrases is also, no longer can we afford to learn as we go. Until the subject is mandated, which is personal financial management, until it's mandated in the school system, we must take it upon ourselves to properly educate ourselves, our families, and our communities. And one of our primary topics is to revitalize the entrepreneurial spirit. We want to show children the ins and outs of running a business, the benefits of running a business, how it feels to take stock in America, to benefit from owning shares, to subside the old school methodologies that your money is best served in a bank.
Right.
We want to show what it means to invest.
Right.
So you see,
Yeah.
do you see one of the things that we have said is that we want to take back our children and we want to empower our parents. And don't you see what this young man Eddie is doing? It's going to help us to take back our children and empower our parents. And as an evolutionary elder, I'm so excited about that because you
Yes,
know what
me
I
too.
say? I say senior citizens retire and evolutionary elders inspire. And so we inspire each other. And in this particular case,
Right.
I'm inspiring him, he's inspiring me, I'm inspiring you. It goes on and on and on and on. And if we can get our young people financially literate, can
Right.
you imagine where we can go? Academically
Right.
literate and financially literate.
Right.
You heard him say also that he did well on the SAT. Now, you know that's one of the things that I'm real excited about, particularly the verbal part. And one of the reasons that I wrote the book on Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is providing words. Because it's more than just a book on Dr. Martin Luther King. It's a book of words. It's a book that's going to help youngsters do well on the SAT, on the verbal part of the SAT. So we are just pleased as evolutionary elders to have an association with Eddie.
Yes.
Because
Right.
we believe that we're going to do great things for many people.
Right. And one of the things too is that most situations the thing that really stops an individual is funding. Now, what about funding for a business? There's so many programs out. In fact, I had a young man from Prince George County on here, Mr. Floyd Wilson, and he was saying how there's no applicants for funding that's available. And the thing that I think deters a young person from getting involved because they really don't know how to get the funding for a project. They may have the idea, but how do you go about that?
As we talked about funding, we're gonna take it a couple of layers down.
Okay.
Okay, because there's two underpinnings when we talk about funding. Okay, when you talk about funding, the first initiative comes back to the fundamentals of personal finance. Whenever you start a new business, your primary or your initial source of income will always be your personal savings, because that'll avoid you from having to start a venture 100% in debt. So the first thing that we address at the ICANN Foundation is the fact that we must teach individuals how to structure their finances to save, so that they have resources immediately available to start their venture. So that way the venture can get rolling without having to apply for loans and grants and things of that nature. Your personal savings will always be the first source of funding. So the first thing that we must do is teach youth, young adults, parents, older members of the community, how to save. It starts from developing a savings program. And so after we take it from there, it goes to Dr. Williams' area, which is the ability to write and convey your message clearly and concisely. And that's by way of teaching youth and young adults how to write a business plan. And that leads to your area of funding. And that comes to the area of financial literacy, school-based literacy, the use of words, and things of that nature. Because when you are seeking funding, what represents your organization or your initiative is your business plan.